So you want to go and play as a Gibraltar, but all you simply seem to do is die, die, and die. Now this is very easy to go and change, as I'm going to go and tell you the right way in which to go and play Gibraltar. So keep watching, and I'll see you guys soon.
Don't give up.
So first of all, let's talk a little bit about Gibraltar. So he is the first defensive character in which you go and unlock in the game. So if you're new, you will already go and have Gibraltar, and he will be very appealing to you because you're planning on taking a very slow game. Now the first thing I will go and say is Gibraltar, as much as he might be a slow character, you don't have to use him that way at all. You can still get high kill gameplays, but it's not something that I would go and focus on if you're just a beginner. So Gibraltar, with being such a big character, means that his hitbox is a lot bigger as well. Because of this, expect to take shots, but also we need to remember Gibraltar's special abilities in which allow him to go and take control of these kind of situations. So first of all, we have his passive ability, the ability which is with him the entire time, and that is his shield. So when you go and aim down your sight, you'll go and see that your shield goes and pops up. Now I believe that takes anywhere between 25 to 50 damage, which is around about one piece of shield block. Now this goes really quick, but what it does allow you to go and do is go and have a close to mid-range encounter where you will be able to go and keep control. So if you have something like a Peacekeeper, what will happen is you'll get shot, probably 3 or 4 times, but you'll be able to go and take quite a few shots back, and this also gives you the chance to go and really do some damage, whilst your teammates get the chance to go and bring themselves over as well. The next ability that we have with Gibraltar is his Dome Shield. Now again, this can be used in 2 ways. A lot of people go and see it as throw down the dome, pick your characters up, get yourself moved on. Oh yes, you can go and do that. There's nothing stopping you from using the Dome Shield for that sole purpose. But you can also go and use it in a very aggressive stance as well. If you're coming up and sneaking up behind enemies, what you can actually do is go and throw the Dome Shield over them. Now, you might think this is one of the most stupidest things in which you could possibly do, but it gives you a lot of control in a situation. Do they want to go and leave the Dome Shield and risk going and having you shoot them, or do they want to go and stay inside the Dome Shield and try and loot up? You know, do they want to go and heal themselves up? If they know that if they heal up, you're there, and it also goes and gives you time as well. Now I've had this on many different occasions where I've gone and seen a Gibraltar and I've ran straight into their Dome Shield as they're going and running out, and I've stopped in there, and I know it's a one-on-one encounter and they come in and attack me immediately. All you need to go and do in those situations is just wait, because at some point one of you guys is going to go and fall, and the thing is as well, is most likely because you're the one who's in control of that situation, if you start moving your way forward, they're going to run themselves out immediately. And of course we have Gibraltar's ultimate ability as well, which is simply the Bombardment Strike. So just like Bangalore, Gibraltar goes and has an airstrike ability, throwing down a flare and going and covering a certain amount of area with a bombardment. Now the only difference is that if you have Gibraltar's, it stays in the exact same place rather than creeping up like Bangalore's. Now this is probably one of the most aggressive things about Gibraltar's character, and there's many things in which you can go and do with this. The thing that I would go and recommend, if you're taking an aggressive stance, go and make sure you use it wisely. You're either going to need to go and use it in the situation in which you can distract some enemies. You can use it in the situation of needing to go and try and get a little bit more damage, so that way the rest of your team can run in. Or you can also use it in a more defensive stance as well, throwing down your Dome Shield and throwing the Bombardment Strike around you. That way you can go and quickly pick up your teammates if they've just gone down and you're right in the middle of an area with no cover. So what I'm going to do now is just go and quickly show you a piece of gameplay. Now, this isn't just my first win with Gibraltar this season, this is my first win with Gibraltar ever. One thing I really want to go and stress is I'm also a beginner when it comes down to this character. When he first went and came out on the first map, I didn't really like using him too much. There was too many high points, there was too many things that kind of made Gibraltar useless. But with this map here, because of the fact in which there's not so much high and low with it all, it makes it very easy to go and use this character, and I really hope that you do manage to go and get your win off of this guide. So please enjoy the piece of gameplay, and I'll also go and talk you through a couple of my tips with this as well. Okay, so I'm going to talk over this piece of gameplay, which was my first win with Gibraltar on Season 3 and ever, as I've already gone and mentioned. So I'm just going to tell you a couple of the things that I was thinking about when it all happened, some of the things I recommend when you're using the Gibraltar character as well. So first of all, the guns that you want to pick up if you're using a Gibraltar is going to be medium to close range fights. Now a lot of people will tell you if you're a defensive character, you should probably go and use longer range guns such as snipers and kind of, you know, more to far kind of range advances, because this goes and gets the best out of your defensiveness. But the problem is that really kills off a lot of the aggressiveness in which you can go and use, which I've already explained Gibraltar works really well with. So by going and taking the Peacekeeper, unfortunately it was the only gun in which I had at the moment, it meant that I was able to go and get close enough when it comes down to this next gunfight, which you've already gone and seen. Now I did forget to actually hold down my sight when I first shot, which meant that he did go and get those bullets in on me. But after that point there, you can still see that my shield is up. It's a little bit damaged when it comes down to things, but yeah, it was alright. I survived. So I throw the dome shield down here over the door, mainly just to make sure that we're not going to have a grenade thrown in that's going to go and break that door down and also start damaging me and the teammate that I'm trying to go and pick up. As I don't really want to go and lose anyone in the gunfight. I don't really want to go and have anyone kind of like die in the game as well. And being in this building kind of really helped in this gunfight. I think if we'd been on the outside, there was no chance in which we really could have gone and won this. Because simply by going and hanging inside, we went and kept the best form of control in which we could. They had to go and come over to us. And even at this moment here, I'm still kind of thinking, how am I alive? You can see how small my health is. And with all the gas that's in the room, the caustic is actually the most dangerous in this part here. Simply just because the caustic is the only one who can actually see us. Because whilst all that gas is going on, his teammates can't see anything, but he can go and see through the smoke quite nice and clear. So because of this, my teammates were able to go and take out the remaining 2 people. Which really helped out because it meant that I could go and finally pick myself up a gun. And I didn't have to go and run around with the Peacekeeper the entire time. So it was greatly appreciated. So in the end, I went and picked myself up a Hemlock. And we went and simply moved on to the next area in the ring. Now, one thing I will recommend to you, if you're ever right on the edge of the ring, always go and make sure that you go and have a little check over whilst the ring is going to come in, just to make sure no one's going to run in behind you, as that is something that goes and puts you at a huge disadvantage with Gibraltar. You never want to have anyone get behind you. So our teammate ran forward, and quite luckily they must have thought he was by himself, as he was the only one that was advancing. But I was able to go and take this guy out right here, and he had a really good shield, and he also had a gold helmet on him as well. So there was these 2 people up on the house, and what we decided to go and do was try and see if we can get them kind of a little bit pressed down. So as I was going and making my way forward, I changed my Hemlock to go and be in the one shot, so it made it a little bit easier when it came down to it all. And I tried to see if I could get them to go and do a little bit of movement by going and throwing in my ultimate as well. Try and see if it could go and put them off a little bit of like kind of where they was. So whilst that all came in and they was moving themselves to try and get into some sort of cover, I started kind of going and shooting in, took down a shield, and that kind of made me feel like my team can kind of press forward a little bit. But fortunately at the time it was very difficult, and I didn't realise there was also a team behind us. So this became very difficult. I was trying to go and move into areas in which I could kind of go and attack back, And I was also trying to go and move into areas in which I know I wasn't going to suddenly get shot from behind. So it was very, very difficult to try and work this out and try and keep track of both teams. This is something which I really struggle with in my game personally when it comes down to things, but I'm starting to try and get a little bit better. So once I realised actually where their team was, I tried to go and fire a little bit of cover fire, and then again started getting attacked from behind. So what I did was just quickly go and throw down the dome shield. Now I've already gone and said this is great to go and use defensively because they now have to go and come to me, and there's no chance in which they're going to go and move across and get risked of shooting from the other team basically. So again, we was in quite a nice stand front when it came down to that. So once we did this, I just quickly made sure that no team went and made an advancement behind us, fired a couple of shots again as a bit of a suppressory, and again they kind of shot back. But because of the ring moving in, the team behind me also there had to go and move inwards as well. And I completely lost him there, I'm not going to lie, but I was like, right, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to heal myself up and just go and make sure that I can get ready for the next advancement. So whilst this was all going on, my teammates were actually still going and fighting, and this allowed me to thankfully go and get away kind of scathe-free when it came down to it all. I didn't need to kind of heal myself up all the way, but just enough to kind of keep me balanced and level of exactly where I was. So after this, once again, I went and checked about where the enemies were. I wanted to make sure that I kind of knew who was going to be coming and running in, and me and the teammate had came back here as a safe kind of distance, and the other teammate was still kind of staying very, very much out in the open. And they kind of did that all game. I really wouldn't recommend it, using any character to keep yourself that open, but if it works for you, it works for you. So at this moment here, I decided I was going to go and push forward, and I was going to try with my bombardment strike again. This time I got a bit closer because I felt like it didn't really go too well last time. Brought myself back just to make sure that they wasn't going to go and run forward and suddenly start shooting at me. And then made a flanking maneuver over to their left. So I bring myself around the corner. Luckily that trap didn't get set off, and I managed to go and take that person out. Now the one thing I forgot to go and do, because I was trying to be very, very quick about what I was doing, was I actually forgot to change the hemlock out of single fire. But in the end, I went down with getting the other two down, which meant the teammates felt a lot more confident, and they pushed themselves forward and took out the other two players, as well as obviously the last guy that was alive. Brought myself back up. And then we was able to go and move on with the game, taking out two squads, and again, there was no kind of real area where it looked too worrying for us. So at this moment here, we're actually in the final 4 squads, as you can go and see in the top right hand side corner. I've got myself 4 kills, and I don't really go and get too many more when it comes down to it. I think this is really all I had in this game. But yeah, so again, I waited for the ring to go and move, decided to go and fire a couple of shots off. This was not to try and go and get a kill. A lot of people will go and fire those kind of shots, and then they'll go and chase in afterwards. They're like, yeah, I hit him with one, I hit him with one. This was actually more just to try and get a bit of shield down on them and see what kind of shields people were carrying. Because if I knew someone else had a gold shield, I didn't really want to go and be jumping straight in there, because even if I go and take down one person with a gold shield, I know the other two have probably got something very, very similar as well. It's not very often that you really go and finish a game when you have very, very minimum shield of like a level 1. If you do manage to go and win a game like that, please go and send me a photo. Like literally, I'll leave a link to my Twitter. Just send me a photo of you actually managing to go and finish with with a level 1 shield, please. But after all of this, we moved ourselves across, kept ourselves behind, and tried to go and play very, very smart, not going and moving too fast when it came down to things. The teammates were moving a bit quicker than me, but yeah. So we already knew they had a bloodhound because he just went and did a quick search. So I was like, okay, I want to go and stay on the edge just in case, You know, he might eclipse someone with that. I want to go and listen out for the shots. I kind of want to know where they are. But I saw them running into here, so I knew this is round about the area which there was going to be. And when the shots started going off, I kind of got a little bit cocky. I was like, okay, right, I can do this. I did this before with my Peacekeeper, so I'll do it again. And yeah, my shield went immediately on that one there. But I managed to go and get the damage in, and then get flanked from behind. I have no idea where my teammates went actually in this to go and cause them to be able to go and get behind me, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They must have had a good enough reason to go and move themselves. Maybe they did a 2-in-1 encounter, and that kind of like evened the playing field when it came down to things on that one. But either way, I managed to get myself picked back up again, and I immediately decided I was going to go and heal. I didn't know how many people were going left in these last teams, and I really didn't want to go and find out whilst I was really on the minimum kind of health in which I had. But basically, once I kind of finished healing up and I was kind of ready to get back into the gunfight again, well, this kind of happened. We kind of brought ourselves around the corner, and yeah, turns out that we went and won the game. So, I actually don't think any of our team were over there. I think that person tried to heal up and just backed a little bit too far back, and I think actually took themselves out. But as you can see, even though I didn't get that many kills, you can see the achievement there. It was my first win. The thing that we're looking at is actually how much damage we got to our kills and how it goes in contrasts. And so everything was pretty even, which is a really good sign. It means that I was there, I was helping out the teammates. Even if I wasn't getting the kills, I was going and getting enough damage to really help and support them, and it meant that they could go and move on through. So overall, a very good game. I was really happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed this guide. If it worked for you, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more, and let me know if you want another guide on another character. I'll see you guys soon.